Hey everybody, Jim and Joshua here to talk about, yes, today's big news. The New 52 is over. So
Rest
Joshua,
in peace, New 52.
we hardly knew ye. You didn't even make it to 52. Tell folks, basically give them a gist of why this is a big deal.
First of all, it's worth noting that while the New 52 is ending, the continuity that started with the New 52 is still going on. This is not another reboot, and this is not a return to the pre-New 52 DC universe.
Right.
But some people have been like wanting that, but that's not what we got here, folks. This is big. Well, we sort of knew it was coming because there's this big convergence event that sees all these like disparate DC worlds coming together, smashing together, and all these like big crossovers and all this stuff, like as DC likes to do once or twice a year. And then we also got word like a couple months ago, actually, that DC would be canceling a ton of their titles. It's like 14 plus titles. So we knew like something like this was in the works. So there's like, I think 25 ongoing titles that are going to continue from the New 52 previously, and then 24 brand new titles that are start with a brand new, fresh #1 with like clean jumping on point. And so that's what we got.
Okay, overall, were there any shocking revelations in the newly announced books, or even, I mean, I know it's a little bit, a little outdated now, but were there any cancellations that surprised you? Any of the new books or anything?
No, usually you actually see like the cancellations coming for a while because of the, you see like the sales are dipping or like they're not getting good reviews or what have you. So that usually is a big indicator. So what surprised you though in the new books? For the new books, the first book that I'm really excited for that I can't wait to read is actually Midnighter by Steve Orlando and ACO. And it's Midnighter, for those who don't know, he's like a gay Batman. Okay. And he's been like folded into the DC universe. He used to be on a different like, imprint, and he's honestly just like a really cool character, and he can sort of like see what you're gonna do before you do it, and can like read you, and it's got this like, really like kind of like sort of like badass attitude that's like really cool, and just the fact that I think he's the only gay male superhero to ever get his own series between Marvel and DC. So that's that's really big. I think that's really cool. Also,
Harley Quinn and Power Girl team up book too, right?
Yes, Harley Quinn has her own series, but they're launching another series, Harley Quinn and Power Girl team up book. In Harley's series, she had an issue where she teamed up with Power Girl. That issue was very well received and like sold well, and like critics loved it, fans loved it. So I think that inspired DC, like, hey, why not give them their own book? And another thing worth bringing up is that Cyborg is getting his own series, which is really cool. And they put Ivan Reyes, I think that's how you say his name, Reyes, is the artist on it. He is a top tier artist. He is, they put him on like Justice League. He is always working with like Jeff Johns and stuff, whatever he's doing. So for them to put him on Cyborg is great, because it really shows that they're committed to making it a great book. And
also, I mean, Cyborg's getting his own movie. He's going to be in the JL movie. He's going to be in a little bit in Batman v Superman.
Yes. So they want a Cyborg book on the shelves when he's in the public eye. Also, and speaking of the movies, there's a rumored movie called Dark Universe by Guillermo del Toro, which is reportedly in the works, probably going to show up sooner or later. But they renamed the comic book Justice League Dark, which is like the supernatural hero team, to Dark Universe. So again, to have a Dark Universe book on the shelf when that movie comes.
I mean, look, the Dark Universe, we should stress, wasn't part of the official Warner Brothers DC slate, movie slate announcement. That doesn't mean it won't happen. So I obviously would be excited for that. But there are a couple like kind of question mark books too. Like, what is it, Midnight You or something? What was that
Mystic You.
Mystic You.
I don't even know what that's about.
Yeah, I mean that's.
And it said it was like a tentative like working title. So you got me. I don't know what that's going to be. There's a couple weird like head scratching ones, because in like the press release they were like, oh, this is more like forward thinking and contemporary than ever. And then they have like Bizarro, Batmite, and like Prez, like the teenage president. So you're just like, huh, that's really weird.
No, Batmite's from Heath Corson, right? Who did the Justice League, Throne of Atlantis.
Yes, Justice League War, Batman Assault on Arkham, all the animated movies. So cool. That's his DC Comics debut. Which is really cool. On the other hand of those titles, they have like this sort of lighter, cartoony, more fun art style, and when the New 52 launched, it was very homogenous. It all looked so like dark, like gritty. Everyone looked almost like this. They picked artists with a bunch of like same styles, almost people doing their best like Jim Lee impression. Not that that's bad, because Jim Lee is amazing and awesome. But now it seems like they have much more like experimental, like atypical styles. Gotham Academy is another good one. Gotham by Midnight, like so, like really, it seems more diverse, not only in the people and the characters, people working on them and the characters in the books, but also of just like the visual style, which is very refreshing and good to see.
But overall, I mean, we have to address a little bit of the cynicism here, which is, man, just another relaunch. Like, you just did New 52. They only made it, what, like 40 issues? You didn't even make it to 52 issues to have like a clean out.
Another year they would have.
Yeah, but it just, to me, as a more casual comic book reader, that's the kind of thing that kind of turns me off of it. It just feels so kind of, I don't know, cynical, or just like these relaunches and things like that, just, they irritate me, Joshua, is what I'm saying.
I mean, I feel like that's like a common feeling to have. It's like you feel like you're being like jerked around. It's like, I've bought into this, I've committed to this. Why do you keep changing it? Why do you keep upending the status quo? Why do you keep killing characters that don't stay dead? Stuff like that. So I do feel like this isn't the same as a reboot. So I'm not upset by that. And also, like the New 52, it's not quite new anymore. So I suppose they had to get rid of it one way or another. And if they are going to like sort of do a send-off to that imprint, it may as well be to bring in a new wave of books. Again, half the line is still there and from before, so there is like a sense of continuity, and they've obviously taken note of what works and what's good, and are carrying that into the future. But they're also trying a bunch of new things, which we can't be too mad at. The one thing, like sort of overall, when I look at the title that I think that's missing is, well, the best thing from when the New 52 first launched was like books that were in the Dark family, like Animal Man, Swamp Thing, I, Vampire. Those were the best like top tier titles. And for them to not do more books like that, to maybe try and make them more like successful, I thought was sort of a missed opportunity. You know what I mean? Because with hindsight, you know, showing you what worked and what didn't, it seems like they didn't quite capitalize on what worked so well. So that was sort of weird for me. But overall, I think this is good. It's very interesting. Like they in the press release, they're about like, you know, diversity and including like new ideas and different types of people to tell the stories. And I think they did succeed doing that. And so I'm interested to see where it goes from here.
Well, it's got the Joshua Yale seal of approval right there. Guys, we want to know what you have to say about the end of the New 52. So let us know in the comments below. And for all things DC Comics, keep it here. Keep it here on IGN.